In the frozen silence of the northern wilderness, there is a shadow that leaves no footprint. It moves like a ghost through the pines, a creature so elusive that many who live in its territory for a lifetime will never catch a glimpse of one in the flesh. It is an animal defined by a absence, a whisper in the brush, a sudden chill on the back of your neck. It is possessed of eye that can spot a mouse from 250 feet away and pose that act as high performance, natural snowshoes. This is not just another forest predator. It is a biological masterpiece of the subarctic, a specialist that has spent 10,000 years refining the art of survival in a landscape that actively tries to kill anything that breathes. At first glance, you might mistake a lynx for an oversized house cat that's been through a growth spurt and a very long winter. But look closer. Every square inch of this animal is a result of thousands of years precision engineering for survival in the harshest environments on Earth. Let's start with the most striking feature, those iconic black ear tufts. These aren't just decorative tassels. Biologists believe they function like sophisticated biological hearing aid. These long, stiff hairs act like collectors, catching subtle vibrations in the air and funneling sound waves directly into the ear canal. This gives them a sense of hearing so acute they can detect the muffled heartbeat of a rodent scuttling under 2 feet of packed snow. Without these tufts, their hunting success rate drops significantly. They are quiet literally the lynx antennas to the world, allowing them to map their environment through sound alone. Then there are the snowshoes. A lynx's paws are disproportionately large, sometimes larger than a human hand. During winter, the fur on the bottom of their feet grows incredibly thick and stiff, creating a padded sole that increases the surface area even further. This is not just for warmth, it's about the physics of pressure. By spreading their weight over a larger space, the lynx achieve a low wing loading on the snow. To put it in perspective, a lynx exerts only about one-sixth the pressure on the ground that a human does. While rivals like wolf or coyotes sink to their bellies and waste precious calories struggling through the drifts, the lynx glides across the surface. This allows them to hunt in the dead of winter when other predators are forced to scavenge or hibernate. Even their tail is a deliberate design choice. Unlike the long tails of leopards or cheetahs, used for balance during high-speed chases, the lynx has a short, black-tipped bobtail. In the subarctic, every inch of extremities is a liability, a place where heat can escape or frostbite can take hold. By reducing the tail to a stub, the lynx maximizes heat loss while maintaining just enough for a rudder for a quick turns in the brush. In the world of the lynx, if it doesn't help you to kill or keep you warm, it's an evolutionary waste of space. Most big cats rely on raw power or breathtaking speed. The lynx, however, relies on patience and the laws of physics. They are ultimate stalk and ambush specialists. Their fur, a mottled mix of gray, tan, and white, is not just a coat. It's a high-tech camouflage suit designed to mimic the dappled light of a sun-streaked forest floor. This allows them to become practically invisible even in a relatively sparse cover. A lynx can remain motionless for hours, appearing as nothing more than a granite boulder or a pile of dried brush. They don't chase their prey over long distances. They calculate the geometry of the kill. Their work is deliberate, high-stepping gait because their hind legs are significantly longer than their front legs. Their hips are tilted forward, naturally coiling their muscles like a spring even when they are simply walking. When the distance is close to within a few yards, the lynx strikes. They don't engage in a frantic sprint. Instead, they utilize a lightning-fast, explosive bounce. Those elongated hind legs allow them to launch themselves into the air, often covering 10 to 15 feet in a single bound. Because their front paws are so large, they act as massive mittens to pin down prey instantly upon impact. Because they live in high-latitude regions, Where calories are precious currency, they cannot afford the luxury of failed hunt. Their success depends entirely on the element of surprise. If a snowshoe hare, their primary food source, spots them even a second too early, the lynx will often abandon the hunt immediately. They are energy economists. If the math of the hunt doesn't guarantee a meal, they won't spend the fuel. This all or nothing strategy has made them one of the most efficient killers in the feline kingdom. But it also means they are live on the knife edge of the survival. Unlike lions who live in a social prides or cheetahs who sometimes form coalitions, the lynx is a dedicated hardcore introvert. They solitary creatures that patrol massive, invisible empires. A single male territory can span over 100 square miles, an area larger than many major cities, which he defends with a quiet, little intensity against all rivals. But how they manage such a vast space without ever meeting another of their kind? They leave chemical messages through a complex system of scent markings, urine spraying, and deep claws cramping on prominent trees. A lynx can tell exactly who passed through, how long ago they were there, and even their current health and reproductive status. It's a sophisticated, slow-motion social network that keeps the peace in the deep woods by ensuring that two males rarely end up in a same square mile at the same time. However, during the brief mating season in the late winter, the ghosts become loud. They emit eerie, high-pitched screams and caterwauls that can travel for miles through the thin, crisp air. To the uninitiated, these sounds are terrifying, like a human screaming in the dark or a demonic child. For centuries, these vocalizations inspired folklore and legends of the forest spirits. Wendigos and the shapeshifters among indigenous people are early settlers. It's the only time the forest truly hears the lynx. Despite this vocal period, they remain ghosts to us. They possess a deep-seated psychological aversion to open spaces. They prefer the edge effect, the dense, messy borders where old-growth forest meets new clearing or riverbeds. In these tangled thickets, their camouflage is most effective and their snowshoe advantage is most pronounced. They don't just live in the forest, they are a part of its very architecture. The lynx remains one of the most mysterious and beautiful enigmas of our planet. They are the guardians of the northern shadows, living on the very fringe of the habitable world. They prove that survival is not always the brute force. Sometimes, it's about having the right tools, the right temperament, and the infinite patience to wait for the perfect moment.